Parag Marathe said something interesting. He got promoted to owner of a soccer team because he's just so good at what he does. And he was interviewed, and he was, patting himself on the back on the way out of town and was explaining that, he's done this before. They turned a lemonade stand into a sophisticated business operation once before. He could do it again, meaning that Joe Montana, Bill Walsh, Eddie DeBartolo, and Carmen Policy in 5 rings, we're a mere lemonade stand compared to what the Niners are doing now. What do you think of that?
I tell you, I'm feeling pretty good today, but it makes me want to puke. It makes me want to puke. Look, I know Parag Marathe very well. He's can be a very charming guy. He's very bright. I think inside there's a sort of a ruthlessness to him. The idea that he's running a soccer club, he doesn't probably know jack about soccer. And my guess is, again, I could be wrong, he's going to still be fully involved with the Niners and he'll be a figurehead with the soccer team. Okay? Yeah. So let's get that out of the way first. Yeah. Although, if he were to leave Santa Clara, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't change my life. Would it change your life?
No, to me, he's had way too much power for the last 23 years, and maybe this is finally Kyle Shanahan being like, you know what, we don't need him anymore. Can you go, please, take your talents to England? Please, show them how it's done.
Go to
We're
England.
Good over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lemonade stand.
Yes.
By the way, when you put it up and you had that visual of Jed and Parag, and you were over, I don't know where you got the house from.
Joshua Knudsen, who watches the show all the time, made that. Shout out to Joshua. That was great.
Thank you, Joshua. It killed me. I loved it.
Killed me. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, let's be clear. He wasn't saying they're a better team, because that would be insane, than the good teams. But he was saying they have a better business organization because of him. Mm-hmm. My mother used to say, self-praise is no recommendation. Lowly, because I used to brag about shit. Lowly. Self-praise is no recommendation. He shouldn't be praising himself. That's for other people to do. Now, he says what they had was a lemonade stand. Okay, they made a lot of money. They won 5 championships, and he's putting business organization over winning championships. If I were a fan, I wouldn't give a shit if they had a good business operation. Did you win? When was the last time you won a Super Bowl? You don't always say, the Niners haven't won anything since 1995, but you know what? They have a really good business organization. I'm so proud of them. Do you care that they have a good business organization?
No, absolutely not. And also, first of all, I don't care. Second of all, I disagree with his premise to begin with. He's acting like he walked into the Arizona Cardinals, a team with no fan base, no brand, no history, no winning, and turned them into the Dallas Cowboys. Nah, man, the reason people wear Niners jerseys and show up to Niner games on the road is because of all that winning they did when they were a lemonade stand, not because of anything you did. You were profiting off a brand that was made in the 80s. It's like when people drive Toyotas. There's brand loyalty there that preceded him. They profit from. That's it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if the old guys were a lemonade stand, what are these guys? Are they a diner?
They're also a lemonade stand, but it's like way more expensive, and the lemonade isn't as good.
That's right. There's still a lemonade stand.
Yeah, it used to be the most famous lemonade stand in America. It revolutionized lemonade stands. It won every Lemonade Stand of the Year award for 15 years in a row. Then these guys got it, jacked up the prices, changed the ingredients, and made it crap. And they're still trying to profit off of the name it had 30 years ago.
Yeah, these guys, it's like they're using frozen lemonade.
Yep.
Right?
That's exactly what it is.
Charging higher prices.
And they're like, well, we're making more profit than they did before. Yeah, because you're ripping off your customers.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you, I knew Bill Walsh pretty well. And if I said, I could contact him and say, Parag just said when you guys ran it, it was a lemonade stand. Bill Walsh would say, fuck Parag. That's what he would say. Bill Walsh didn't like people to know he cursed all. He was a football coach. He cursed all the time. He used the F word in just about every other sentence.
Yeah.
Where's the fucking quarterback? Where's the fucking coach? Where's the fucking running back? He used to say, I heard him. And he would say, fuck Paraag. And one other thing about Paraag, and you were a witness to this. After games, we'd go at home. When Iggy and I worked together, we would go from the locker room. We'd walk over to the elevator to go back up to the press box and do our work. Right? I'd write my column. He'd write a gamer and all that. So inevitably, Paraag was walking toward us. I've known Paraag for decades. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he'd whip out his cell phone, and Iggy, am I making this up? And he'd put it to his ear to simulate talking so he wouldn't have to say hello to me. And it used to make us laugh. Now, if he had any brains, except for, this making a better lemonade stand, he would do what a good manager would do. Not take out a cell phone, say, hi, Lowell, hi, Grant, it's nice to see you. Right. How you doing? It doesn't take any effort, and it makes you feel good about him. It makes you feel good about...
And it makes us feel bad if we dump on him. But now we can just go ahead with the green light because he looked at his cell phone the whole time.
Exactly. So I'm quite happy to shove it up his tush about the lemonade stand because of what he did more than once with the cell phone.
Yeah. Scotty's saying it's like Subway charging $12 for a footlong. I could see that, considering those footlongs are barely edible. I think the Niners are better than a Subway sandwich. They did get to the NFC Championship game the last 2 years, but boy, I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead.
Iggy, I just don't like an arrogant prick.
Yeah. I don't like it. An arrogant prick. Yeah, and it's like that to me has been the attitude of the Yorks for 20 years, and it's why I really don't like that attitude, and I feel like it's the culture of the team. Like, hey, we don't get enough credit. We're better than the organization we inherited. Like, sure, we haven't won a Super Bowl, but that's fluky. Look at all the great things we've done. Like, the stadium you built isn't even that nice. You're already trying to borrow $120 million from the league to renovate it so you can get another Super Bowl because it's the worst new stadium on the West Coast. And you left San Francisco so that the Warriors could slide in and take the spot you should have had. How great are you? And you still haven't won shit.
Now, I want to say, in the Niners organization, I'm trying to think of who has the right amount of being polite, political, but polite. Jed on and off. But, Jed's a bit of a nerd. So he's not really that... You think that's giving him too much credit?
No, it's right on the money. He called him a nerd. It just hurt because I could hear Jed. I could picture Jed hearing you say that and him wincing because he is a nerd. Sorry, Jed. You're a nerd.
Oh, okay. I want to tell you who's good in that organization. Al Guido.
Sure. Everything he does that. Yes.
Yeah, Al Guido. He's their president. I don't know what Al Guido does. He's an Italian guy from South Jersey. I went to college not far from South Jersey. He would come out to practice, even if I wrote the worst things about the Niners. Lowell, it's so great to see you. When have you been back to college? Do you remember this disc jockey from our area, which was Jerry Blavitt? Do you remember Jerry Blavitt? And Al Guido is, even if he doesn't like you, right, he doesn't let that get in the way because he's representing the organization. Okay?
John Lynch is also that way.
Yes, he is. John Lynch is a mensch. John Lynch is a mensch. He's a good guy. And Kyle and Paraag need to go to John Lynch and Al Guido classes.
Yeah, because I understand Paraag and Kyle think a lot of themselves, and they're very accomplished, and they can be arrogant in private, but publicly you probably shouldn't express that kind of stuff. It just makes you look bad.
I think so. I do.
It does. Yeah.
And you know what? What I always felt about Paraag, there's that cliche, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Is he? I mean, is he? If you think that, you're kind of vulnerable. I mean, there are some very smart people, first of all, in the organization. Adam Peters is a very smart guy. John Lynch graduated from Stanford. He's a pretty smart guy. And in the press room, you're a pretty smart guy. Manny Mayoko's a pretty smart guy. Annie Killian is a pretty smart woman. That kind of arrogance makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Boy, so I'm really looking to see how much money Leeds United makes over there, because I don't know shit about English soccer, but I'm guessing that Leeds United isn't exactly the San Francisco 49ers. I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm guessing they don't have a bunch of championships, and he's like trying to profit off of something that's been there a while. Like Manchester United, I've heard of them. There are certain teams I've heard of. This isn't one of them. So essentially he's got like the Jacksonville Jaguars of English Premier League. Okay, buddy, let's see you turn them from a lemonade stand. I think it's fair to call Leeds United a lemonade stand. So let's see what he does.
Right, he's going to a lemonade stand. Mm-hmm. He's been banished to a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
And so he's the one who established the terminology.
Yeah. Yeah, so if the lemonade stand was the one in the 80s and 90s, what they got now is like a chain lemonade restaurant that is a clip joint and charges too much money.
Yeah. Now, again, if I were Parag, and if I were Parag, I would have a sense of humor and I would be sophisticated. You know what I would do? I would send lemonade to you and to me.
Yeah,
it would be a charming thing to do, and it would say, "I get the joke. Let's move on." Yep. What do you think the chances are we're going to get lemonade from him?
-30.
I would send the lemonade.
Of course,
best wishes, Parag. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's two things. It's, hey man, it's not that serious. Let's be cool, and also, fuck you. It's both of those at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
And you got to respect it. You got to respect it. Yeah.
In fact, I would love it.
You love it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Drewber89 says, instead of putting change in a jar, they upgraded to a cash register and a guy flipping a sign on the corner promoting the stand. Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
I love the guy on the corner. I love the guy in the corner.
Dan says, Grant, next time you talk to Kyle, can you ask him to identify a specific area of improvement as a head coach he's working on? Keep up the great work, QC. My dad and I appreciate you both. Dan, if I asked him that question, do you understand how pissed he would be? I love that when Kyle gets red in the face because you ask him a question he doesn't want to answer. I like that, though. I will ask him that. One area.
Okay, I know. Wait. We're going to improve the lemonade.
Yeah, the lemonade. Yeah, we got to get better lemons here. Tony says, Jed is a nerd with a T. We want Eddie back. Love the show. He's a nerd with a T. I don't know, but I like that.